It's way too small for me, but not too small for thee. If you're into chins, you like movies about chins, I got a movie for you. Well, hey there, guys and gals, and welcome back to the most sorrowful place on all of YouTube. It's great to have you back. If you're returning, if you're new here, this might be your first and last time because you realize there's probably a lot better ways to be spending your time. I've been selling on eBay and Amazon for a little over 10 years now, and I'm going to share some cool stuff and stuff that you should definitely be on the lookout for. Bolo to YOLO, YOLO for the bolo, baby. And stick around because in the middle of this video, I'm going to talk about something, this recurring issue that keeps coming up with people that I talk to who are always asking me questions, this issue of not being able to find certain things. And I know it's from a particular issue that I certainly faced when I first started reselling, so stick around. I'm currently 1,000 miles from where I live, up in the frozen tundra of New York State, where I am on location for my career, my other career outside of online reselling. And today is Monday. I just got back from the post office where I shipped off 32 orders, which is way more than I would have anticipated selling while I'm up here and away from my space and not having the access to all the inventory that I normally have. That said, 3 days ago on Friday, I dominated at a local consignment thrift store. Let's hop into some of the cool stuff I found and some of the stuff actually sold over the weekend. If you've been here before, then you know we're going to talk about board games, because board games is one of the things that I talk about incessantly. I find a lot of board games. I sell a ton of board games, especially used board games, but board games, look out for board games, folks, especially selling it on the Amazon FBA program. This video is not about the Amazon program, but Google it, YouTube it. There are plenty of people that are teaching about the FBA program, but it is invaluable and is a game changer. But I found this Cranium game selling for 10 bucks. I thought that was pretty high, but I scanned and saw it selling for almost 80 bucks brand new. Why? I don't know. Fine Family Feud, this is the Platinum Edition. It was 5 bucks on the shelf and it sells for almost 29 bucks on Amazon. And it was like new in the box. I don't even know if it was played, but another great find, and this is going to be shipped into Amazon to be sold on Amazon. Thing I've been selling a lot more of as I'm looking a lot more for them. I used to skip over a lot of the media sections. Honestly, I know that there was some value in some things, but I never had much luck, but that's only because I wasn't really looking at all the titles. I was just making assumptions. After watching an increasing amount of online resellers on their YouTube channels finding a lot of gold within the DVD shelves, I started looking for myself about a month or two ago, and I've been finding so many great titles. Look for obscure titles. That's where most of the value. I'd also keep an eye out for series, complete series on Blu-rays and DVDs. I did find Miami Vice. I already sold it and shipped it off this morning. I paid 6 bucks for it. Paid 6 bucks for it and sold for 38 bucks. And these were all $3 a piece. This Van Morrison live at, I don't know how to say that word, Montreux. This is brand new and it sells for about 20 bucks on eBay. I paid 3 bucks for that. Then we got Leonard Skinner, same thing, 3 bucks, sells for about 15 bucks. So not a huge score, but a score nonetheless, and it will sell pretty fast. And we got Once Upon a Time in America. Something I've never heard of, but you know, that doesn't say much. Because I'm at an age where Braveheart is my favorite movie, and sometimes when I'm out and I talk to younger folks, they don't even know what Braveheart is.
But they'll never take
profits.
3 bucks for this, and it's selling for almost what? And it's selling for 25 bucks on Amazon. To me, obscure title, maybe not to everybody, but point is, I didn't know what it was, so I looked it up. And that is one of the core tenets of online reselling. If you don't know what it is, look it up. Below Her Mouth, certainly never heard of it, picked it up, scanned it. Couldn't find much on Amazon, but when I looked it up on eBay, I couldn't believe it. This is selling for $200 plus in some cases, brand new. This is a used copy, but I think I can get about 150 bucks. I'm gonna take a best offer, maybe anything 100 or more, or depending how long it sits, but 150 bucks I think is a pretty reasonable price according to what I can tell for a used copy of this. Below Her Mouth, which, you know, it's a lot of area. There's a lot of things that are below her mouth. Directly below her mouth is her chin. So maybe this is a movie about chins. So hey, if you're into chins, you like movies about chins, I got a movie for you. Cranium and Below Her Mouth, I start to think that there's a theme here. If you ever see anything out in the wild that has to do with body parts, you might want to buy it. Especially kidneys, they do really well in the black market. So making assumptions, I want to talk about making assumptions because a lot of people that hop into this, a lot of people that have taught about this, and I also have to remind myself of this lesson, is not to make assumptions about the value either way. When you think something's gonna have value and it doesn't, or when you assume something doesn't have value but it actually has a lot of value. That happens time and time again. And that's one thing I learned early on, is to take your emotions out of the reselling game. There is no crying in reselling. Real live examples from this episode, all these DVDs for so long, years, I would pass over DVDs and give it a quick glance without actually really considering what I was looking at and just assuming that all these DVDs and Blu-rays and CDs, they were just mass produced at such a level that I didn't think they had value. But I've learned so much over the past couple months to not make assumptions. And this old Cranium game, which had a $10 price tag that I almost just figured not to even look up because I assumed that it was going to be a $25, $30 game. I was making a lot of assumptions, and I'm grateful that I scanned it. It was 10 bucks and it sells for almost 80. This particular version of Cranium, brand new, like this, sells for almost 80 bucks on Amazon. And that's almost $50 that I would have had just because I made this simple assumption that this game wasn't worth anything. It's a few weeks after Christmas, so at this thrift store, they're having a blowout for 75% off of all their holiday stuff. I don't even know where all of it is. I know Christmas sweaters, especially ugly Christmas sweaters, they tend to do really well. I'm not sure about year round on this. I might hold on to these things until October, November this coming year when people start to shop for their ugly sweater Christmas parties. And here's the thing, even if these sweaters are ugly, I'm not gonna say it to their face. It's rude. So this particular sweater is a brand that I've never heard of. Design Options by Philip and Jane Gordon. I can feel it has texture. When I do this, it's bumpy. So anytime you see sweaters and you can do this and it's bumpy, it's worth looking up. And that's a very scientific explanation for all this stuff. I think it was 75 bucks on the rack, 75% of that. So this was roughly 19 bucks. It's still got the original tags. And you're not gonna believe the price that this thing actually sells, $130 or $150 for a brand new sweater of this. So this is a new brand to me. Oh gosh, it's too small, I'm gonna rip it. Okay, we did it. It's way too small for me, but not too small for thee. So we got this classic Woolrich Christmas cardigan here. Same thing, I think I paid $24.99, but it was 75% off. So we're paying roughly $6 and thinking I can get maybe 30, 40, 50 bucks for this as long as it's the right season. I'm gonna look, since it's still winter out, it's still cold. Christmas sweaters and you know, I don't want them to hear ugly sweaters. They might actually do good year round. I'm not sure off the top of my head, but I'm gonna find out while I edit this video. And then finally, another, if you rub your hands down it, I can feel the texture type of sweater. And I found this is called Raywear. I think I paid same thing. It was 25 on the rack, so I paid about $6 for this. And you can see on the screen that I did pretty good with this sweater. Some really fantastic stuff at this consignment store. Being in a small town, I'm probably only gonna go back every 2 to 3 weeks because I don't anticipate them being able to fill their shelves and their racks again so quick and often as the community is smaller for the donations that come in. So that's it for this video. I really appreciate you guys stopping by. I hope you learned something. I sure did. If you find any value in this video, do that likey and subscribey thing that we all do on YouTube and go back, watch some older videos of mine. But at the end of all things, I hope you had a good day and I can't wait to see you guys out in the wilds.